So I hope you went through and checked out the exhibition that was featured here this month for some of these black visual artists. So I'm going to call up Anthony, Joyce, Sam. All right, come on up. What's up, Anthony? How are you? How are you? Good? Give us a hug again. There we go, there we go. What's up, Sam? How are you? Good? Respect, respect. All right, come on in here. Come on. Don't be all shy. Get in here, get in here. All right, so as visual artists, as black visual artists, you know, you're here, you know, creating your own art form and creating your vision of what you want to share. So tell us what's important for you in terms of sharing your visual approach.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm a visual artist, as it kind of says up there. In my art, I like to tackle the topics of racial and social injustices, as well as celebrate and highlight black beauty and black heritage. We went through a crazy history, a crazy history, and it's Black History Month, and we're here to celebrate joy, but I feel like to be able to celebrate joy, we actually have to look at the past and look at the hardships that we were able to overcome to actually have that joy. So I think being able to touch on those topics to make sure that we don't lose sight of where we came from, to celebrate where we are now, and kind of educate as we do that, I think that's what's most important to me.
Great, thank you. Well said, well said. Can you just tell us what that, the three pieces that you have down there, what's the theme surrounding that?
Yeah, so that's a series that I call Beautiful Africa. One of my close friends, my brother in Christ, is actually here that was in it. And that's kind of to touch on the culture that, the influence that we had on the culture throughout all of history ever. If you think of the culture right now, we have footprints in every single spot. No matter how it may be country, jazz, fashion, everything, we are embedded in it. It all flows through us. But a lot of the time, it actually goes over the heads of many people. They love the culture, they love the music, they love the food, they love the fashion, but they hate us. But inevitably, they actually love us because we're the ones that it came from, essentially. So through that exhibition, through those pieces, I like to bring that to light. Say that we were here throughout history. We were here implementing the culture. Like, you guys like the culture, and that's our history. It's culture to you, but that's our legacy. So, yeah.
Respect. Anthony T. Russell, thank you. Joyce, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You're not shy, are you?
No.
Oh, good for you. You know, it's funny because we actually spoke on the phone, and, I said, well, how did it all start for you? And, you said it was kind of like you've always been kind of drawing and everything, and you almost had to be kind of pushed a little bit to kind of get your work out there. And some of it probably happened during the lockdown, during COVID, right? So why don't you tell us a little about your artistic approach and how it happens for you?
Yeah, so I'm a self-taught artist, and kind of like you said, I've grown up kind of being interested in drawing and always being passionate about that. But from a young age, the one thing that I really noticed is I never really saw artists that looked like me. I never saw art that represented people like me. And so at first, when I was growing up, I always felt like maybe that means there's no space for me there. So as I got older and I got more passionate about my art, I kind of decided that, you know what, if I don't see that space for myself, then I'm going to create it for myself. And throughout that experience, especially throughout the lockdown, I feel like I've met so many amazing people, and I've met such a big circle of artists that are Black and that are here and that actually have voices that I never saw before. So when I work on my pieces, a big part of that is representing the human experience, specifically the Black experience, because a lot of the times we are shown as kind of a unique, as a group of one, they see us all as the same, but there's so much culture and so much experience that comes with every different individual. So through my art, I try to kind of evoke thought towards people's cultures and experiences and show that through different facets. So that's kind of how I approach my art when I do that. So.
Well done, well said. Now, love the piece you represented Biggie. Represented Erykah Badu in there. Mm-hmm. So are those just some of your favorite artists, or you do just something that you just wanted to just kind of, hey, I want to, they're great drawings, amazing pieces. So what was important for you with that in terms of who you actually chose in terms of?
So with that, those are, yes, they are some of the artists that I do really love, but more so it was about artists that kind of made a big impact on a global sense, kind of people that put us on the map in different ways when it comes to music. And their stories and the way they go about their music and their culture and everything like that has really put, made those household names. So that was kind of my inspiration for that was, okay, like these are paintings that represent people that mean something to people and that represent something that's greater than themselves when it comes to the Black culture. So that was why I picked those two artists in those different facets. And even though they're so different from each other, they're also very similar, and they represent a lot to a lot of people. So,
great job, Joyce Nseya. Thank you, Sam. What's up? How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good. So, I mean, you're obviously a great photographer. You actually. It's funny, when we spoke on the phone, I was like, you know what, I've seen your portrait, portrait stuff, which is amazing. But then, I found out there's another side of you that you've been snapping pictures of the scene of Black artists here in the city. So what was the thought process for you to just kind of go out there and kind of capture this and document, some of these Black artists?
I think... So my Black awareness is 5 years old. I moved to this country 5 years ago, and that was when I knew I was Black. And every chance I have to document Black creatives, it's education for me to see second generation, third generation Black folks exploring their Blackness. And I'm seeing the Blackness from their eyes, and I'm capturing that through my lens. It's a privilege for me to experience that, and it gives me that awareness in that sense. And I don't pity my shutter button. I go all the way, and I take that process in. And for me, when you reached out to me to say that there's an opportunity for me to do this, I'm like, sure, I want to show these photos. And there's a myriad of Black creatives and crazy talent in the city, that even the canvas that is down there is not even enough to put them all in. And it's just that going out there to experience, explore, educate myself. That's really is me learning. That's my process, learning.
What's the biggest thing you've learned?
The biggest thing I've learned is so my very first photo was an event that happened during winter, and I used to hear that Calgary is bipolar. I didn't understand it. My biggest lesson I learned is to dress properly in winter, especially as a Black person. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And then, what could happen, too, is, I was on the plane coming in, and it's just like, it's going to be minus 22 when you land, and nobody's flinching. I'm like, man, I got to buckle up and where's my long pants? And then, I got off the plane, and there was a Chinook. I'm kidding. No, it's a different vibe. But no, thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. I want to thank all these artists. Make sure you support their work. It was very important for me to make sure that we represented and see, especially the emerging young talent, that's coming through here in this city. And so once again, give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Respect, guys.